Press release. What it is. Today, Tuesday 7 March 2017, WikiLeaks begins its new series of leaks on the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. Codenamed Vault 7 by WikiLeaks, it is the largest ever publication of confidential documents on the agency. The first full part of the series, Year Zero, comprises 8,761 documents and files from an isolated, high-security network situated inside the CIA's Center for Cyber Intelligence in Langley, Virginia. It follows an introductory disclosure last month of CIA targeting French political parties and candidates in the lead-up to the 2012 presidential election. Recently, the CIA lost control of the majority of its hacking arsenal, including malware, viruses, trojans, weaponized zero-day exploits, malware remote control systems, and associated documentation. This extraordinary collection, which amounts to more than several hundred million lines of code, gives its possessor the entire hacking capacity of the CIA. The archive appears to have been circulated among former U.S. government hackers and contractors in an unauthorized manner, one of whom has provided WikiLeaks with portions of the archive. Year Zero introduces the scope and direction of the CIA's global covert hacking program, its malware arsenal, and dozens of zero-day weaponized exploits against a wide range of U.S. and European company products, include Apple's iPhone, Google's Android, and Microsoft's Windows, and even Samsung TVS, which are turned into covered microphones. Since 2001, the CIA has gained political and budgetary preeminence over the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA. The CIA found itself building not just its now infamous drone fleet, but a very different type of covert, globe-spanning force, its own substantial fleet of hackers. The agency's hacking division freed it from having to disclose its often controversial operations to the NSA, its primary bureaucratic rival, in order to draw on the NSA's hacking capacities. By the end of 2016, the CIA's hacking division, which formally falls under the agency's Center for Cyber Intelligence, CCI, had over 5,000 registered users and had produced more than 1,000 hacking systems, trojans, viruses, and other weaponized malware. Such is the scale of the CIA's undertaking that by 2016, its hackers had utilized more code than that's used to run Facebook. The CIA had created, in effect, its own NSA, with even less accountability and without publicly answering the question as to whether such a massive budgetary spend on duplicating the capacities of a rival agency could be justified. In a statement to WikiLeaks, the source details policy questions that they say urgently need to be debated in public, including whether the CIA's hacking capabilities exceed its mandated powers and the problem of public oversight of the agency. The source wishes to initiate a public debate about the security, creation, use, proliferation, and democratic control of cyber weapons. Once a single cyber weapon is loose, it can spread around the world in seconds, to be used by rival states, cyber mafia, and teenage hackers alike. Julian Assange, WikiLeaks editor, stated that there is an extreme proliferation risk in the development of cyber weapons. Comparisons can be drawn between the uncontrolled proliferation of such weapons, which results from the inability to contain them combined with their high market value, and the global arms trade. But the significance of Year Zero goes well beyond the choice between cyber war and cyber peace. The disclosure is also exceptional from a political, legal, and forensic perspective. WikiLeaks has carefully reviewed the Year Zero disclosure and published substantive CIA documentation while avoiding the distribution of armed cyber weapons until a consensus has also decided to redact an anonymous unidentifying information in Year Zero for in-depth analysis. These redactions include tens of thousands of CIA targets and attack machines throughout Latin America, Europe, and the United States. Results of any approach chosen, we remain committed to our publishing model and note that the quantity of published pages in Vault 7, Part 1, Year Zero already eclipses the total number of pages published over the first 3 years of the Edward Snowden NSA leaks. Analysis. CIA malware targets iPhone, Android, Smart TVS. CIA malware and hacking tools are built by EDG Engineering Development Group, a software development group within CCI, Center for Cyber Intelligence, belonging to the CIA's DDI, Directorate for Digital Innovation. The DDI is one of the 5 major directorates of the CIA. See this organizational chart of the CIA for more details. The EDG is responsible for the development, testing, and operational support of all backdoors, exploits, malicious payloads, Trojans, viruses, and any other kind of malware used by the CIA in its covert operations worldwide. The increasing sophistication of surveillance techniques is drawing comparisons with George Orwell's 1984, but WikiLeaks, developed by the CIA's Embedded Devices Branch, EDB, which infests smart TVs, transforming them into covered microphones, is surely exposed to realization. The attack against Samsung Smart TVs was developed in cooperation with the United Kingdom's MI5/BTSS. After infestation, WikiLeaks places the target TV in a fake-off mode so that the owner falsely believes the TV is off when it is on. In fake-off mode, the TV operates as a bug, recording conversations in the room and sending them over the internet to a covered CIA server. As of October 2014, the CIA was also looking at infecting the vehicle control systems used by modern cars and trucks. The purpose of such control is not specified, but it would permit the CIA to engage in really detectable assassinations. The CIA's Mobile Devices Branch, MDB, developed numerous attacks to remotely hack and control popular smartphones. Infected phones can be instructed to send the CIA the user's geolocation, audio and text communications, as well as cover the activate the phone's camera and microphone. Despite its already shared 14.5% of the global smartphone market in 2016, a specialized unit in the CIA's Mobile Development Branch produces malware to ingest, control and exfiltrate data from iPhones and other Apple products running IS such as Icarus. CIA's arsenal includes numerous local and remote zero days developed by CIA or obtained from GCHQ, NSA, FBI, or purchased from cyberarms contractors such as Baker. The disproportionate focus on IS may be explained by the popularity of the iPhone among social, political, diplomatic, and business elites. A similar unit targets Google's Android, which is used to run the majority of world's smartphones, tilde 85%, including Samsung, HTC, and Sony. 1.15 billion Android-powered phones were sold last year. U0 showed that as in 2016 the CIA and 24 recognized Android 0 days, which it has developed itself and obtained from GCHQ, NSA, and cyberarms contractors. These techniques permit the CIA to bypass the encryption of WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, Weibo, Confide, and Cloakman by hacking the smartphones that they run on and collecting audio and message traffic before encryption is applied. CIA malware targets Windows, OS, Linux, routers. The CIA also runs a very substantial effort to infect and control Microsoft Windows users with its malware. This includes multiple local and remote weaponized, 0 days, air-gap-jumping viruses such as Hammer Drill, which infects software distributed on CD/DVDs, infectors for removable media such as systems to hide data in images or in covered disk areas, Brutal Kangaroo, and to keep its malware infestations going. Many of these infection efforts are pulled together by the CIA's Automated Implant Branch, AIB, which has developed several attack systems for automated infestation and control of CIA malware, such as Assassin and Medusa. Attacks against Internet infrastructure and web servers are developed by the CIA's Network Devices Branch, NDB. The CIA has developed automated multi-platform malware attack and control systems covering Windows, Mac OS X, Solaris, Linux, and more, such as EDBs, HIVE, and the related cutthroat and swindle tools, which are described in the example section below. CIA hoarded vulnerabilities, 0 days, in the wake of Edward Snowden's leaks about the NSA. The U.S. technology industry secured a commitment from the Obama administration that the executive would disclose on an ongoing basis rather than hoard serious vulnerabilities, exploits, bugs, or 0 days to Apple, Google, Microsoft, and other U.S.-based manufacturers. Serious vulnerabilities, not disclosed to the manufacturers, places huge swaths of the population and critical infrastructure at risk to foreign intelligence or cyber criminals who independently discover or hear rumors of the vulnerability. If the CIA can discover such vulnerabilities, so can others. The U.S. government's commitment to the vulnerabilities equities process came after significant lobbying by U.S. technology companies, who risked losing their share of the global market over real and perceived hidden vulnerabilities. The government stated that it would disclose all pervasive vulnerabilities discovered after 2010 on an ongoing basis. Year Zero documents show that the CIA breached the Obama administration's commitments. Many of the vulnerabilities used in the CIA's cyber arsenal are pervasive, and some may already have been found by rival intelligence agencies or cyber criminals. As an example, specific CIA malware revealed in Year Zero is able to penetrate, ingest, and control both the Android phone and iPhone software that runs or has run presidential Twitter accounts. The CIA attacks this software by using undisclosed security vulnerabilities, 0 days, possessed by the CIA. But if the CIA can hack these phones, then so can everyone else who has obtained or discovered the vulnerability. As long as the CIA keeps these vulnerabilities concealed from Apple and Google, who make the phones, they will not be fixed, and the phones will remain hackable. The same vulnerabilities exist for the population at large, including the U.S. Cabinet, Congress, top CEOs, system administrators, security officers, and engineers. By hiding these security flaws from manufacturers like Apple and Google, the CIA ensures that it can hack everyone and MDSH at the expense of leaving everyone hackable. Cyber war programs are a serious proliferation risk. Cyber weapons are not possible to keep under effective control. While nuclear proliferation has been restrained by the enormous costs and visible infrastructure involved in assembling enough fissile material to produce a critical nuclear mess, cyber weapons, once developed, are very hard to obtain. Securing such weapons is particularly difficult since the same people who develop and use them have the skills to exfiltrate copies without leaving traces, sometimes by using the very same weapons against the organizations that contain them. There are substantial price incentives for government hackers and consultants to obtain copies, since there is a global vulnerability market that will pay thousands to millions of dollars for copies of such weapons. Similarly, contractors and companies who obtain such weapons sometimes use them for their own purposes, obtaining advantage over their competitors in selling hacking services. Over the last 3 years, the United States intelligence sector, which consists of government agencies such as the CIA and NSA and their contractors, such as Booz Allen Hamilton, has been subject to unprecedented series of data exfiltrations by its own workers. A number of intelligence community members, not yet publicly named, have been arrested or subject to federal criminal investigations in separate incidents. Most visibly, on February 8, 2017, a U.S. federal grand jury indicted Harold T. Martin III with 20 counts of mishandling classified information. The Department of Justice alleged that it seized some 50,000 gigabytes of information from Harold T. Martin III that he had obtained from classified programs at NSA and CIA, including the source code for numerous hacking tools. Once a single cyber weapon is loose, it can spread around the world in seconds, to be used by peer states, cyber mafia, and teenage hackers alike. U.S. Consulate in Frankfurt is a covered CIA hacker base. In addition to its operations in Langley, Virginia, the CIA also uses the U.S. Consulate in Frankfurt as a covered base for its hackers covering Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. CIA hackers operating out of the Frankfurt Consulate Center for Cyber Intelligence Europe, or CCIE, are given diplomatic, black, passports and State Department cover. The instructions for incoming CIA hackers make Germany's counterintelligence efforts appear inconsequential. Read through German customs, because you have your cover for action story down pat, and all they did was stamp your passport, your cover story, for this trip. Q. Why are you here? A. Supporting technical consultations at the consulate. Two earlier WikiLeaks publications give further detail on CIA approaches to customs and secondary screening procedures. Once in Frankfurt, CIA hackers can travel without further border checks to the 25 European countries that are part of the Schengen open border area, including France, Italy, and Switzerland. A number of the CIA's electronic attack methods are